Hello, I'm Belkis Perez. Thanks for watching Coral Gables Television. Today on Coral Gables Now, one quick look at this building and you'll understand why it is the only one of its kind in the city.
Inside this building is the training ground for an Olympian. I've got the details.
Plus, you don't want to miss this year's senior health fair. From medical screenings to important health issues, we'll give you a preview of the event. And is it possible to extend your life and prevent disease just by changing your diet? We'll talk to a nutritionist to find out. Those stories and much more, Coral Gables Now starts right now. Hello and welcome to Coral Gables Now. I'm Belkis Perez. There is a brand new construction project, a mixed-use building of commercial and retail that will soon be coming online in the city. Now, this would be the first project in the city to have a permanent artwork on display for all to see. And joining us today to talk about it is the artist, John Angie. Thank you so much, John, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we've seen the process and we've seen this art piece, beautiful pieces go up on the building. Basically, we're talking about a building that's right on the corner of Catalonia and Ponce. It's a brand new building. Yeah. Tell me about your involvement in this project.
Yes, this is the first building to have a 1% for the arts art project right on the premises. That's an ordinance by the city of Coral Gables in projects that are over $1 million in final construction for commercial buildings. So the owners of this building, the owners have the option of give the money to the city or do the project themselves. The owners in this case decided to do the project themselves. So they started to look for an artist for their building to do this project probably a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly. I got involved a year and a half ago into the project. My wife works with one of the owners, with one of the group of the owners, and they were selecting the artist, and they saw in my wife's Facebook my work, and they called her and said, "Oh, we didn't know your husband is a sculptor." And said, "Oh yeah, my husband is a sculptor." And they, "Well, we'd like to talk to your husband." And they looked at my work and they told me exactly what they were looking for. They had other people that they were considering, and after a process and a selection, they decided for my project to be the one to be built into the building.
So basically, now your pieces, and they're 3 or 4 birds, correct? They're lining a wall of the building, the front facade of the building. What was your vision for it? How did you decide? Were there parameters that you had to follow for this?
Yeah, the owners are a group of 3 families, 3 groups of people who have the same background, the roots. Their parents came here to the United States fleeing from political hardship in their country, and the 3 of them are very successful. And these are the kids of these parents. And when I was invited to the project, and after I researched a little bit and I talked to them and the little I knew, it just occurred to me that this has to be an icon about freedom. What happens in Miami is that we all are here because we were fleeing. I mean, I am, and my family is, and a lot of my friends are. Probably you are the child of someone who lived the same thing that we lived, and we found freedom. Not only freedom because we were going to be killed, or freedom because we were going to put in jail. Freedom from economical hardship. You know, groups of people who control all the resources in some countries make slaveness in those countries. In America, we don't have that. And these people who built Miami, which Miami was here already, but this large group of people who started coming in late 50s and early 60s were the ones who set the foundation for all the others to come and have the opportunities that we have right now.
Right.
And these three families to me are a symbol for that. And I said, why don't we do a symbol for freedom? Why don't we do the flight to freedom? You know, because they wanted a sculpture that was sleek, that was stainless steel, that was really bright, because the building is all cladding in metal, and it's a very metallic building, very, very contemporary look. So they wanted this powerful stainless steel, shiny sculpture at the front. And the first sculpture that I designed was a standing alone piece that went 40 feet up, that they loved, but the art in public places rejected because we didn't have enough space. And we went through a process. So at the end, they decided that it was going to be on the facade.
On the facade.
Nobody imagined that when I presented the project. One thing is seeing paper drawings, and another thing is coming up with a 2-ton piece and put it there and tell them, okay, now let's hang it. So everybody was like, oh my God, it is really big. And I said, have you seen the pictures? Yeah, it's big.
But it's 40, not the same scale when you see it.
The scale is exactly the same.
Yeah.
It is 40 feet by 20. There's 4 pieces. It's one bird flying in and out and taking off to its freedom. So they love the concept, and we started working on the details, and we have it now.
And how long were you working on it in your studio?
I worked on the initial concept probably 6 months. Then we worked for another 6-8 months to get approved by the city, by the Art in Public Places Committee, by the Financial Responsibility Committee, by the City Commission, by the Mayor, by the Board of Architects. We had to be approved by everyone who is concerned in the city of Coral Gables about the look and the where the city is going. And the aesthetics factors. So after we got all that clear, I started to work 5 months ago in the actual pieces.
Well, these are massive pieces. It's just amazing how you were able to do it in 5 months. And we're talking about, what is it? What type of metal is it?
That is a stainless steel.
Stainless steel. And they're done in pieces, right? Because you can't just do one.
Yes. Well, I am a trained architect, so I had to think this project as architecture. I make my living as an artist, but I have an architectural background. So the pieces were made to scale to the screen. So just nobody understood that screen is 114 feet wide by 40 feet high. And everybody was like, yeah, that's nice, let's do it. But when I started showing them up, everybody was like, oh man, that's big. Oh, well, that's nice. So like now everybody was in shock.
Impressive.
Every piece I put in the studio, I had one warehouse, and I had to rent the one next to it, because when I built the first, I have a team of a couple of people who helped me, and we built the first one, and they said, okay, this is it. We built it, and then we cut it in 4 pieces to get it out, transport it, and then we welded it again to bring it up. So each piece is 4 pieces. So it's 4 by 4, it's 16 pieces all together.
Wow.
And each one is like close to 1,000 pounds, each little piece.
Have you ever done anything to that scale before, that massive scale?
Not 40 feet. I have a lot of 20 feet sculptures, 15, 16 standing alone. I have a couple of pieces in Coconut Grove. I have St. Thomas University, Miami-Dade College have some of my pieces, but nothing so big.
And to the scale that you've got to mount it on a building and make sure that it's secure. I mean, it seems really tedious.
I was naive is not the word, and ignorant is not. I probably have to make up a new word to call myself, because I was planning to hang them myself.
Really?
Yeah, and I knew I could do it, but the owners didn't agree with me. They said, we need to hire a company to do this.
It took days. I mean, it took literally weeks to do this.
Yes, and a team of people with all sorts of equipment, and it's just an enterprise. Just installing them was such an enterprise that if you only had knowledge of the installation, forget the building and developing the installation. Oh my God, that's big. How did they do that? Just how did we build them up? It is really, really interesting.
And the great thing about this is that now everyone gets a chance to see it. It's not just in the privacy of this building. It's actually on the facade, as we said. And the good thing is that it's in a very central location where we've got a lot of other galleries there. This might be even a focal point at one of the gallery nights. We've got gallery nights here every first Friday of the month. So this is going to be something that, you know, I'm sure that many people will be able to see on the course of their day, and also now on this one first Friday of the month.
Yes. You just brought that to me a few minutes ago, and I hadn't thought about it. I've been living in Miami for more than 30 years, and I remember when all the good galleries in Miami were in Coral Gables. Probably there were 100 galleries, and we used to walk every first Friday of the month all around the galleries and see the exhibitions and stuff. But this is changing the perception of art in the city in a very powerful way, because now that you mentioned that, this sculpture is right at the corner, or where all the action in gallery night was. Now still there are some of those galleries there. There are is right next to the round point that we have the 4 or 5 galleries that are on this side. Then we have another gallery at front right next to Christie's. So it is a very nice place where a lot of people are going to be walking by, and this is a very monumental work of art that is going to be really visible.
Yeah.
And also the fact that it's at a building that is going to be called the Zuby building, because it's owned in part by Zuby Advertising, and their office is going to be there. And that has a lot to do with the arts.
Yes.
I mean, if you see advertising, and if you see the history of Zuby Advertising in the city of Coral Gables, it is like magic. The place this building and the art is gonna take in the area where all the art happens. It's like we are not managing this. There is a superior force putting this together, because I don't think, at least I didn't plan for that to be like that. It just happened. They had the place there, and they built it and said, oh, let's do the art. And yes, it all works together in a very beautiful way. It is a great area for this to happen.
And it's a beautiful sculpture. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
John. Congratulations to you, and we wish you the best of luck on future projects. We hope to see more of your
Thanks a
work
lot.
around the city.
Thank you very much.
All right, so the building, as we said, is located right on the corner of Ponce de Leon Boulevard and Catalonia Avenue. You may want to check it out, at least for the next gallery night. It should be up already. Up next on Coral Gables Now, the city is teaming up with Doctors Hospital to bring back the senior health fair. Find out how you can take advantage of this important health lecture and free medical screenings. And later we'll talk to a nutritionist to find out what foods can extend your life. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Carlos from your local fire department with another safety tip. Each year, more than 2,500 people die in home fires, and almost 2/3 of those deaths happen in homes where smoke detectors are not working. Smoke detectors are your first line of defense against deadly fires, but they cannot protect you if they don't work. Your local fire department wants to keep you and your family safe should a fire break out in your home. So please follow a few simple rules. Make sure you have smoke detectors on each level of your home and outside each sleeping areas. Test your smoke detectors monthly and change the batteries in your smoke detectors at least once a year. A good rule of thumb to help you remember when to change the battery of your smoke detector is at the change of daylight saving time. When you change the time on your clock, change the battery in your smoke detector. Early warnings from a smoke detector alarm can make the difference between surviving a fire or dying in one. It's a plain and simple fact. Working smoke detectors save lives. We want you to be safe, not sorry.
Welcome back. Next month, the city will be offering senior residents a great opportunity to improve their health. Coral Gables will be teaming up with Doctors Hospital for the 3rd annual Senior Health Fair, and joining us to talk about this great event is Pat Blanco from Doctors Hospital, your registered nurse, and also the Magnet Project Director there. And we've got Letty Ellis from the city's Senior Division. Thank you, both of you ladies, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So tell me, when is the fair? In September, correct?
It's Wednesday, September 12th, from 10 to 2 at the Coral Gables Youth Center.
And this is the 3rd time we're teaming up with Doctors Hospital to
Right.
offer this.
Right.
This is our 3rd annual
third,
fair
yes.
in the auditorium of the Youth Center with free valet parking.
Which is great for seniors.
yeah.
And it's always had a great turnout. What was it last year?
Last year we had close to 300 people coming between the hours of 10 to 2. The various tests that are available from Doctors Hospital, with many of their volunteers and nurses explaining to everybody
how
they can
different
take care of their
results
health,
Right.
and take care of their health.
So Pat, tell me, there's different components to the health fair. We've got the part where they can do screenings, they can have an educational part. Tell me about the screenings this year.
Okay, the screenings are kind of basic things that seniors want to know about. We do blood pressure, we do cholesterol screening, we do osteoporosis screening, and we do diabetes screening. Things that are very common in the senior population.
How are they chosen? Is it because these are the most important for seniors?
Yes, well, they're chosen first because they're the most important, secondly because we know the results are reliable, and third because they're easily portable. I mean, we can't do certain things that you can only do in a doctor's office or in the hospital, but these are tests that are broad-based screening devices and that are easily portable.
Do they get their results right there?
Yes, they come, they get screened, they go away, they do a little education, they come back, and just within minutes they can get the results.
And no fasting required.
No fasting
that's
required. That's very important to
yeah.
remember. Yes.
For people to know that.
Okay. And you also have an educational component. In previous years, we've had a lot of different booths there. Tell me about what topics this year residents can look forward to.
We actually have two types of educational components. We've always had the booths, but last year we added a lecture series, and it was so popular that we've continued that again this year. A little bit different, but on the same format. We have two physicians and a nutritionist. Dr. Bianco is going to talk about urinary tract problems and incontinence. Urinary tract infections are the #1 reason why seniors visit emergency rooms, doctor's hospital emergency room. So we certainly wanted to include some information about urinary tract. By popular demand, Dr. Vanderven is coming back to talk about joint replacement because seniors are very interested in joint replacement, and there's always something new in joint replacement. And then our nutritionist is going to talk about this year about how to get more fiber in your diet. Fiber is very important for the health of everyone, especially seniors, and so she's going to give them some tips about how to increase their fiber.
And also, there's an interactive component too, which is the Tai Chi. You had it last year. We saw a lot of people getting up and actually doing those moves, and we'll have more information on that in the next segment. We're actually going to have the Tai Chi instructor here to give us some tips. But really important too because it helps with the balance, right?
Right. Baptist Health has a lot of classes in Tai Chi. The seniors group in Coral Gables, the youth center have a lot of Tai Chi classes. It's important to keep people moving, so we have that. We also have the massage therapist that was there last year and will be there again this year. So a couple of things going. I don't know if you wanted to say something about Tai Chi.
The Tai Chi, well, the Adult Activity Center for the City of Coral Gables offers a variety of exercise classes, including Tai Chi.
And it's been very popular.
It's very popular. We have wonderful instructors. And
you've got also some other
aerobic class, dancercise class. A Matter of Balance is a new class we offered this year through the Key Biscayne Community Foundation, and that's been very popular for slow chair exercises for people for the memory and balance.
I think that this really ties in good, this senior health fair, because we at the city level, we're already offering some sort of activities to keep them mobile, and then you guys bring in this medical component, this health component, which is a great thing for seniors. You normally would think that seniors would go at least once a year to get their checkups. Have you noticed that that's the trend, or do they not, or should they get checked more often than that? What are your thoughts about something like that?
I think some seniors are very diligent and do get checked regularly. I think some, for a variety of reasons, fear no one to get them there or whatever, don't do it. So this gives everybody an opportunity, whether you've been checked or not, even if you were checked 6 months ago.
Exactly.
It's always a good thing to get checked. It's free. And you can get some very good education and advice about the results, etc. This year we've also added BMI, so we think that's something that seniors don't very often get checked for.
And that's the body mass index that tells you whether if you're overweight or just
Right.
okay.
It's a better indicator of your body mass rather than just weight, and it's a calculation that takes in your weight, your age, and your height, and gives you a number which indicates if you're normal weight, if you're overweight, or if you're obese. And you know that so many of today's health problems in all age groups, but particularly seniors, are caused by being overweight. So this is just one more good indicator of where you are on the scale as far as weight.
And this is it right here. This is the
Yes.
body mass
Totally
index.
non-invasive. It just
yeah.
takes 10 or 15 seconds.
You just wrap your hands
Calculate,
around
you
it.
just hang on to the machine, and it will tell you what your BMI is, and that's a very important number, and everybody should know their BMI.
Can someone who's not overweight, who visibly is not overweight, have a high BMI? Is that possible?
You know, I'm not an expert on BMI, but I would say probably not, because it's a pretty good calculation of where you are with respect to age, height, and weight.
So being overweight does, as you said, have complications. You could be more propense for diabetes and
Right.
other issues like that.
Congestive heart failure. It's being overweight is certainly very difficult on your joints, your hips, your knees, your ankles. So
it ties in with all
there's
the
so many good reasons why we would like our population to be within a normal weight range.
Do you do many of these fairs?
This is the only one that we do in combination with the city, Doctors Hospital, but Baptist Health does health fairs all over Dade County and now has moved into Broward County. And yes, they do lots and lots of health fairs for all different groups.
And Letty, what is the main goal for us as a city to offer this for our residents?
Well, to offer our residents daily activities for socialization, for exercise, and it's a pleasure to work with the caliber of Doctors Hospital in right here in our neighborhood
Backyard.
to offer this so that seniors can know their numbers.
And is this open to anyone, or is it just to residents? In the past, I think we've done it just to residents. I'm not sure.
No, this is a senior health fair, and it is open, no registration required. And
So those that attend the senior center can participate as well.
absolutely. We mail out the flyers, and it's on the e-news, Coral Gables e-news,
Okay.
so that we can get the word out there.
And is there a minimum age for seniors to?
Well, the Adult Activity Center for the City of Coral Gables, we're 55 plus,
Okay.
but I never have carded anybody.
Yeah, carded anyone.
I've never carded anybody yet. I just say we're 55 plus, so.
So do you need an RSVP for this event?
No registration required.
Okay. And it's free of charge.
It's free of charge. It's at 10 a.m. at the Coral Gables Youth Center, War Memorial Youth Center, with valet parking.
Okay. And
lunch, we provide lunch.
Lunch.
And lots of education and raffles and just a really fun day.
Wonderful
a really
ambiance.
Nice day. With the theme is health, but we try to make sure that the participants have a really good time.
all right. Thank you, both of you ladies, for being. We look forward to the event, and obviously we'll be there and bring you guys the very latest. Now, coming up, as we said, the Youth Center, September 12th from 10 to 2 a.m. It's at the Youth Center. That's 405 University Drive. Letty said there's going to be free valet, which is great. And if you want any more information on this event, you can call 305-460-5609. Now, still to come on Coral Gables Now, one of the interactive components of the Senior Health Fair is a Tai Chi demonstration. On the show next is the instructor who will be teaching Tai Chi at the fair. And an important road on the southern end of the city gets a facelift. We will be right back.
Can I help you, sir? Something's over by the stairs. Okay, thank you. What are they? Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Welcome back. Even if you don't have the mobility you used to, chances are you can still perform many of the moves in Tai Chi. Here to help us learn some of those moves is Sean Velas. He's a Tai Chi instructor with Baptist Health, and he actually brought Two models here with us, Becky Powell and Judy Orr, who are going to be demonstrating the moves also. Sean, thank you so much, and ladies too, for being here with us.
No problem.
Tell me a little bit about Tai Chi, and is it true that anyone can perform this?
Yes, definitely. Anyone can perform it. We have a senior program that these lovely ladies do, but basically any age group can.
It is, okay. And, you know, you would never think that Baptist Health, being a hospital, a medical environment, they're there to treat symptoms and conditions that are already present, but this is a proactive step that they're taking and providing Tai Chi and other services like this to the community. What other programs do they have?
Besides Tai Chi, we also have a walkers program. They also do Zumba and aerobics. So.
Wow. Now, what is one of the biggest benefits that you would say Tai Chi has?
It's really helped them out with balance, coordination, you know, spatial awareness. So a lot of people have come, you know, very unbalanced, and after a while, you know, they can hop on one foot, you know.
Yeah. So I'm going to step out a second. The reason we're showing you this demonstration is because you'll be able to, I'm not sure if you will go, but there will be a Tai Chi instructor from Baptist Health who will be at the Senior Health Fair and really give people an indication of what it is like to be in one of these classes and the benefits for it. So we wanted to give you a preview and show you some of those moves right here on Coral Gables Now. I'm going to step out, and you're going to start your process here of exercise.
Okay.
So what would you start with?
So we'll do some quick opening exercises from here. We're going to open and sink from here. Exhale as you go down. Inhale as you come up.
And what is this for?
Again, it's working the legs, working on your breathing. You exhale as you go down. Inhale as you come up.
This has a lot to do with meditation, huh?
Definitely does. Now let's do one more. And close. Next one from here, we'll do cloud hands. Open. Bend the right knee, left hand by the side, shifting the weight. Again, same thing from here. Hand-eye coordination. We're shifting all the way to the left, shifting all the way to the right.
Do people have problems doing this at first, or is this pretty an easier step for
It's
many?
not too bad. I let people kind of pick up. I usually tell them to just pretend like they know what they're doing.
And then it follows, eventually
They pretty
it
much
flows.
follow through, yeah. Just kind of go with the flow. And we'll do one more. And close. Next from here, we'll do some kicks. So open, lift the left leg. So again, same thing, working on balance.
So the more repetition that you do for this, do you get better at it?
Yeah,
as
the
far as
easier it
kicking?
gets,
Really?
definitely. And we'll do one more. And close. And last one from here, open. Slow inhale up, turn to the left. So again, this one's just like the first one, except we're turning the waist, we're pushing down. Same thing, keeping the weight in the heels. Exhale as you push down. Inhale as you come up. And keeping the chest up. And one more. And close.
Thank you, guys. Really good moves there for everyone to learn. I noticed that the slowness of it, the meditation, I think it's something that, as you said, it is something that not even someone that's not mobile can benefit from.
Yes, definitely.
And from talking to the ladies, they say that they've become more limber. It's helped with their joints, so that's great news too. That something like this could have that benefit. All right, so you're going to see more moves like these at the Senior Health Fair. That's September 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Youth Center, 405 University Drive. So definitely head out. This is one of the benefits that you'll get from going. And we'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now.
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Welcome back. The Summer Olympics took place in London this year, and at least one athlete prepared for her moment in the spotlight by training right here in Coral Gables. Rodolfo Roman has that story.
CrossFit has become the latest fit craze, promising to get you in shape. But Anna Tunnicliffe is not looking to lose weight. Instead, she is training for the 2012 Olympic Games in London. She qualified for the USA's sailing team and is in search for her second gold medal.
I'm very happy to be competing for America. America is my home, and I want to bring home a gold for us.
She was born into a family of sailors. She started the sport at 8 years old, but wasn't a fan of it.
And for some reason it became fun. There was the weather. I started doing better in competitions, I don't know, but I started to like it a lot more there.
The England-born athlete has had much success. Tunnicliffe became a United States citizen in 2003. She says all the hard work she puts inside this building is dedicated to winning another gold medal. She will be part of the women's keel sailing team. CrossFit is her form of training.
I think it's a great sport for developing power, developing an intense drive to just get through pain regardless of what's going on.
Running under the rain or inside a hot gym, deadlifting more than 100 pounds displays how much Tunnicliffe wants the gold.
Working out here in Coral Gables is awesome in the wintertime because you know the rest of the country and the world is freezing. It gets really hot in the summer and it makes these workouts really difficult, but I think it's really good training. It pushes your body to a limit.
Check your local listings to catch Tunnicliffe and the rest of the Olympic team in action. For Coral Gables Now, Rodolfo Roman.
All right, thanks, Rodolfo. And we actually filmed that right before she hopped on a plane and headed for London for the Olympics. So we'll definitely give you an update on how well she did in the next Coral Gables Now. And in other news, the predictions may point to a slow hurricane season, but that's not stopping Florida Power and Light from strengthening their infrastructure right here in the city. Tanya Leitz has that story and others on City News.
We start this month's City News at FPL, where they continue to implement initiatives to improve services. Residents can look forward to FPL better preparing for the upcoming hurricane season. Among these initiatives are the following: a sufficient electric system to resist powerful winds and storms, restoring service quicker when outages occur, and overall improving everyday reliability. Also, if you're interested to see what system improvements are taking place in your neighborhood, visit www.fpl.com/maps. In other news, the city extended the repaving of Old Cutler Road by an extra 1.25 miles all the way to Cartagena Circle. This work included adjustment of valve boxes and manholes, milling and resurfacing, and pavement markings. Be aware for temporary lane closures as the last adjustments are taking place.
Mango trees like the one you see behind me have become the target of a new scam. It is a technique being used by delinquents trying to rob from our residents.
In a recent case, criminals asked to collect mangoes from a tree at the victim's home. While the victim entered the residence to bring out buckets to collect the mangoes, the criminals followed the victim inside the house with the intent to commit a robbery. Do not allow any unknown individual into your home. If you are presented with a similar type of situation, contact the Coral Gables Police Department or 911 for emergencies. For City News, this is Tanya Leitz.
Thanks, Tanya. Still to come on Coral Gables Now, find out what foods will help you live longer. That's one of the topics we'll be discussing with a nutritionist. We'll be right back.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
And welcome back. Many of us want to live a healthy life, and we do that because we want to extend our lives. Well, there is a way of doing it through our diet. We have today with us nutritionist Jamie Mass, and you're going to explain to us a little bit about how we can get to that phase where we can extend our life, because that's what we all are looking for. Jamie, one of the first things that we all think about is, oh, we're going to live healthy. Let's eat vegetables and protein. But there are certain, in that vegetable group, there are certain elements that make it, that have a better, platform for us to extend our lives and just to live healthier, to have a healthier body. Tell me about that.
You want to try and choose foods to support your body that are going to minimize inflammation, because inflammation can cause a lot of disease and a lot of concerns. So you want to aim towards, when you go to the fruits and vegetables, the dark ones, those are the ones that are going to be very rich in antioxidants and nutrition.
So antioxidants, it's what we need in order to extend our life to, is it because it replenishes something that we lose throughout our age, as we progress in age?
We have naturally occurring antioxidants in the body. There's one, you may not have heard of it, it's called glutathione. We don't hear about it because the body makes it, so we don't usually buy it, but we are supporting those types of natural antioxidants in the body when we're eating fresh fruits and vegetables that are dark and rich, and when you choose different colors, or you eat across the rainbow in a sense, you're going to get different properties from each food.
So for example, let's say, when we think of vegetables, the most popular ones that people normally tend to gravitate to, carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower, and there's even a mix for that. So how good is that compared to something else that would be, what's the alternative to that?
That's actually wonderful.
It is good? Okay.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And a lot of people give frozen vegetables a very bad reputation. They're not. In fact, when fruits and vegetables are picked, if we want to give them fresh to the supermarket, they have to travel across the country sometimes. By the time we get them, they may be lacking nutrients. But if they're frozen at the time they're picked, they're at their peak nutrient value.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. So then does the process in which we cook them get rid of their minerals or their nutrients, for example, steaming opposed to boiling or sticking in the microwave?
Yes, it will change. The more you cook a vegetable, the less nutrition it will have.
So if I steam it, I mean, what's the best way?
Steaming is really nice, yeah. But if you're cooking it in water for a period of time, the water may leach out some of the nutrients. A really great way to do that is to use the water in the soup, or use that in something else so you can get the nutrients.
Oh, very good. Okay, and I see you brought Brussels sprouts here. Not a favorite among many people. They're really good actually when they're tender, they're soft, with a little bit of butter sauteed, but what's the benefit to them?
I like to suggest Brussels sprouts because they're really rich in lutein. This is a supportive antioxidant and nutrient for eye health, and it's a huge problem as we age, our eyes start to deteriorate. If you actually make it with olive oil, it's a power food.
Really?
The olive oil will help absorb the lutein in the body.
So is that true for anything else when we pair it with olive oil, that it helps to absorb, or is it just the Brussels sprouts?
Not always, but with Brussels sprouts and lutein, it's fat soluble.
Wow, so that's a good tip there. Sugar versus artificial sweeteners. We all want to maintain our weight, so we're gravitate toward artificial sweeteners. Diabetic people tend to do that too, but it's artificial. What is good, what is not?
It's very controversial. That's a controversial one. Something to talk about. Okay, so if you're diabetic or you have blood sugar control concerns, then you want to try to aim for controlling your carbohydrate intake and your sugar. Just because something's sugar-free doesn't mean it's not going to raise your blood sugar.
Okay.
It also doesn't mean it's going to make you lose weight.
So just a proportion, small portions of regular sugar might be even better for you than having that artificial.
Right, okay. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But if you're 50 to 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, then the heart disease, the blood pressure concerns, the potential diabetes risk is larger than the risk of having a sweetener.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is neutropenia foods. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically I've been reading a lot about it lately. I know someone who's going through cancer right now, and her mom is making her a lot of she calls them neutropenic foods, a lot of almond muffins. Tell me about, I mean, from what I've read, it seems like it helps with the immunity and also the anti-inflammatory portion of it. What is it, and should we all have it, you know, regardless?
That's a wonderful question. Neutropenia is actually a diagnosis.
Okay.
It's a disease state. That means that your white blood cells are down into the ground, particularly neutrophils. Those are, your white blood cells are the army for your immune system. So we really need to protect and support them. All right, so having that being said, usually you don't have neutropenia or low white blood cells unless if you're in a horrible situation, really, or if you're taking a treatment that can really depress the immune system. Everyone can benefit from taking foods into their diet that support the immune system. That's what you can look to do. You can look to have foods in the body or eating in your diet that really do support your immune health.
What would be one example of a power food in that aspect?
Mushrooms. People don't give them enough credit, but reishi mushrooms, cordyceps, shiitake, very supportive of the immune system.
Interesting. Now, we talk about this, and I just think, how much of it do you really need to intake in order to get the benefit from that? I mean, I would think that that it's just really difficult unless you're eating it 3 times a day. So how do you go about incorporating that and really having it make a difference?
You make a very good point. It is difficult to get the very dense nutrition that is suggested in the research in a diet, but we want to still make the effort. It's better than eating the foods that can promote the inflammation and damage the immune system than to try and incorporate mushrooms, foods that are rich maybe in vitamin D or have omega-3s in them. Although we may not be reaching the suggested dose, we're still making an effort. And if you don't reach it in your diet, there is supplementation available. You make another statement about the almond muffins that your friend is eating. A lot of people who have neutropenia or low immune system are also in a situation where they are losing weight and losing muscle. You want to eat energy-dense, healthy foods, and almonds are one of those. That means high calorie, high nutrition.
Okay. And what's another component of this anti-inflammatory, basically power foods that we can eat that would support a healthy lifestyle for us?
In addition, also supporting the immune system and trying to support that, you know, fighting and inflammation. You may look towards something like whey protein, actually. It's wonderful for the immune system.
You got an example here of that, right? What does it taste like? Do you mix it with milk or with water?
You can use it in a lot of ways, and it's supportive for all of us as we age because we are losing that muscle naturally. You can use it mixing it into oatmeal. That helps to give it that balance. So you're not eating all carbohydrate, you're getting some protein, and you can get it in a lot of different flavors.
So whey is a form of protein? Wow.
It was discovered in a not so great way, I guess. They found it when they were making cheeses and different milk products. The whey rises to the top. And they were scooping it off and throwing it out. And it was a really cheap protein. Then people started to use it. And they found out it was extremely absorbable and very supportive for muscle health and the immune system.
And then you've got here garlic and turmeric, and those are two that you were saying were very popular and very strong for anti-inflammatory, is it?
Yeah, they are both really rich in antioxidants. They are very supportive to keep the cells healthy and to fight off free radicals, those little damaging particles. They can do damage all over the body.
Okay. And anything, I see you brought some instances of other things that are really helpful for us. We've got, is this a granola cereal or?
Cereal I brought because you could spend a few hours in the cereal aisle or in the bread aisle.
I know, tell me about it.
There's
a whole aisle on that.
Right. I know, yeah.
So then this is an example of something that that is not, doesn't have that much carbs and is good for you?
It really has a nice amount of fiber and protein.
Okay.
Which is nice for a starch or carbohydrate. The thing you want to look for is that it's not just something brown that they've dyed, but something that says 100% whole wheat, not just wheat, because it may say wheat and then be brown. But you want to say 100% whole wheat. On pasta, it will say durum whole wheat. That's a different type of wheat that they're using.
Okay. And then this is another example of if you don't want to have beef, You can have turkey burger. Is this what it is, a turkey burger here?
That's another source of protein. So vegetarians and vegans, they may opt for something like this. Someone who has a really low immune system and can't fight back, the neutropenia situation we were speaking about, this is a wonderful option. It's a vegetarian source of protein. It could be very supportive and easy to break down in the system.
And then lastly, we've got a journal here, obviously not something you eat, but what is this for?
I had to bring it with me. I really suggest whether you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain muscle or gain weight, we overestimate and underestimate everything we do. So with food, you want to write down everything you're eating, what times you're having it, how much you're having, put it all in your book, and then you can really take a look from an outside perspective and say, wow, I thought I was eating so much more than this. That's why I'm losing weight at such a rapid speed.
It's true, it's true. Sometimes we just go through the motions and we make these illusions in our head as we're preparing food, and this gives you, you know, you step back and you let the facts dictate what you're doing. Jamie, thank you so much. Great information. I love this. We got to bring you back so we can do more segments on health. But definitely, hopefully, we've given you at home some options on how to change your diet just a bit to include these elements that would definitely extend your life. And if you want more information or if you have any questions for Jamie, she's given us her email address. That's dietitian.jamie@gmail.com, and you can definitely email her and get more information if you so need. And that does it for this edition of Coral Gables Now. Thanks for watching Coral Gables Television. I hope you have a great summer, and we'll see you next month. Take care.